Welcome back to the second video in the Transformations on a Coordinate Grid series. Our second part is going to be looking at reflection. We all know what reflections look like, and here is a reflection of a mountain on a lake. Now you'll notice that we've put a shape upon that mountain in order that we can have a look at the reflection. What do you notice about the reflection of that shape? Well, every point is the same distance from the centre, and the reflected shape is exactly the same size as the original image. We call that central line, in this case where the land meets the lake, the mirror line. Let's have a look how that might work on a coordinate grid when we do reflections. More often than not, you will be asked to reflect in one of the axes. So let's think about this shape to start off with. The first one is reflecting the shape in the y-axis. So we're going to imagine that we have a mirror that sits along that line there. So have a think about where the reflection of that shape will sit on that coordinate grid. That's right, it will be in this quadrant here. In the next example, we're now reflecting in the x-axis. So we have that reflection in the x-axis there. So in this case, when we think about where that one will sit, it will be sitting in this quadrant down here. The most typical mistake that people make is to put the shape too close or too far away from the mirror line. So in order to avoid that, the best thing to do is to count the difference between the reflection line or the mirror line and the shape, and also the reflected shape and the mirror line as well, just to make sure that you're accurate. Now you'll notice here that the shape had to move down. That's because I realized that the axes didn't go down far enough. So let's have a look at how we might check that. So we know that our shape is going to end up over here because that's the mirror line there. And we know that it's going to be the same size and shape as it was before. So the next thing we have to check is that each point is the same distance from the mirror line. 1, 2, 3, 4. I look for the same point over here and I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's check another point just to be sure. So go up to the mirror line in line with the top of the shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the original shape, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the reflected shape. So we can check that the reflection is exactly the same distance from the mirror line. In the case of this one, remember our mirror is here. So we're going to count from this line to the original shape and this line to the reflected shape. So the important steps when we're doing reflection are measure from the point to the mirror line, and remember it must hit the mirror line at a right angle. Then measure the same distance again on the other side, and then we can put a dot. Therefore we know that that reflected point is at that place. Do it for all of your points. Connect up the new dots, and there you have your reflected shape. Now we've identified the shape using different letters. We said shape A, shape B, that kind of thing. But you might sometimes see when they're labelled, they have the corners, so each of the points will be labelled with a little dash on the reflection. So you can see that's B dash because it's a reflection of B. I've got two questions for you to have a go at here. The first one, you are going to start with shape A and you are going to draw two more shapes. Shape B is a reflection of shape A in the x-axis. So you are going to put your mirror along the x-axis and draw shape B. Shape C is going to be a reflection of shape A, this time with the mirror along the y-axis. So the first thing you're going to have to do is to draw your 4-quadrant coordinate grid. Then make sure that you've accurately drawn shape A on there and do shape B and shape C. If you're feeling up for it, we've got a checks task. Shape A and B are reflections of one another, but they're not reflected in one of the axes. Where is the mirror for this question? You can do these on the same sheet that you did your transformations question 1, which was all about translations. The third and last video in this series is all about rotation. So when you've had a go at the transformation questions, you may want to move on to the rotation questions.